I fear we're drifting towards a world where it is impossible to tell the truth. Or maybe we're already there. There has never been a time in modern history where it is so dangerous to speak truthfully. You can have everything in your life taken away from you just because you tell the truth. And that's madness. We all have to pretend that things are reality when we know they're not. And what is the punishment if we refuse to do this? In some cases, you can even go to jail, be locked up in a cage because you refuse to bend the knee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem, a real problem. This isn't me being hyperbolic. You can actually go to jail for this. Norwegian actress Tonje Godjo, that's a terrible pronunciation, Tonje, yeah, faces 3 years in prison for saying that men cannot be lesbian. Well, Tonje, I might just join you in prison because no, they can't. Of course they can't. You might even get in trouble if you say that men can't get pregnant because that's now the mainstream point of view apparently. And yeah, sure, trans men can get pregnant, but don't drop the trans. Keep that in there, otherwise it's completely false. There's more, the wage gap. Constantly being told that men get paid more than women just because of vagina and penises. That is not true. It's been disproven 1,000 times, and yet Anthony Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister, has been pushing this idea that he's going to save the women with the wage gap problems by being their superhero, even though it's not real. Lying to people, getting votes by lying. Well, I guess he is a politician. It makes complete sense, but it's ridiculous. And then there's the mainstream media and politicians with a certain sickness that I won't go into details about because this video will get blocked, but the lies that we were told have now been outed, and the things that we were saying were truth have now been confirmed to be truth, but they were told they were lies, and you gotta play ball. I know, I'm making no sense, but it makes complete sense. So why do people accept this shit? Well, it's because they're scared. They're scared to get in trouble. They're scared to lose their jobs. They're scared to have basically been sent out to the wilderness alone and be shunned by society. They don't want to be outcasts, and that's why they sit back when these conversations full of falsehoods are being talked about or being discussed, and they sit back and they just go, okay, whatever, I'll just cop it on the chin. Well, if you continually do nothing and you continue to just sit there silently, then problems like being locked up for saying that men can't be lesbians arise. For this video, I want to focus on two stories. Number one, the lesbian and men situation, which honestly, if it does come out that men can be lesbians, it will ruin lesbian porn for me. And also a story about an Australian mother who told her son that boys and girls exist, and that's it. And she got in a lot of trouble. Yeah, because that makes complete sense. But first, it's time for a big bad sale. Ladies and gentlemen, men with dicks, ladies with dicks, ladies with vag, men's with vag. Listen up. Whoever you are, we all need to do wee-wees in the middle of the night. Maybe you do more than others. Maybe you do them because you had 40 beers the night before, or your prostate is the size of a Tesla. Regardless, there's nothing worse than walking into the bathroom in the middle of the night and getting hit with that blinding bathroom light. If only someone was a genius enough to make a night light for your toilet. Well, someone did. Me. It's called the don't miss, mate, and it turns on when it senses you walk into the room, so you don't miss anymore. Pretty fucking simple, right? And ladies and gentlemen, right now there is a massive sale on. You can get 2 don't miss mates for the price of 1. All right, go and do that right now. don'tmissmate.com, and if you don't do it, I'll piss on you. Now, back to the video. Let me introduce you to controversial Australian mother Louise Barry, 23 years old. Now, what's the best way to really ruin a young woman's confidence who's just had a baby at 23 fucking years old? Well, you drag her name and her motherly tactics through the media and treat her like a big piece of shit. Why? Because she said something grotesque. It's disgusting. What did she say? Here's a quote. Miss Barry said her son, this will make you spew, you ready for this? Will be raised as a boy because that is what he is. And said he will be taught there are only 2 genders. Oh my God. Disgraceful. She should be punished the only way I know how. Something, a fate worse than death. She should be made to spend a sexy evening in a hotel with Dr. Fauci. Ooh yeah. That's hot. Anyway, the media cracks the shits with her, and it only makes it worse that she also said in her TikTok video that she's not going to refer to chest feeding as chest feeding. She's going to call it breastfeeding because she's a bigot. So basically, she just committed 15 hate crimes. But if you watch the video and you read the comments and you read the comments on the article, everyone agrees with her. That's what's absolutely mad about this. The vast majority of people are all on the same page, and yet we pretend that because we're worried about some, I don't know, weird big brother situation that we're going to get in trouble, we pretend that she's a bad person for what she's saying. And the media loves these stories. That's why they perpetuate these stories. They know that people are going to click on it, they're going to comment about it, it's going to go out into the algorithm, get bigger and bigger, and they're going to make more money from ads that are shown on their website. That's why they do these things. So for them, pretending to be offended is now their business model. So this was all pretend. No one was actually mad at this lady. She's right. She's spot on. Fuck. So luckily for this lady that she lives in Australia and she's relatively safe here, but there are places in the world where you can be locked up for thinking the wrong thing, saying the wrong things. You can be locked in a cage. Just like Norwegian filmmaker and actress Tonje Gevonge. A woman in Norway is facing up to 3 years in prison on criminal hate speech charges after saying that a man cannot become a lesbian. Let's all just take a moment to think about what's being said in that sentence. She is facing 3 years and she's mid-50s. So we're talking 10% of the years that she has left on earth facing time in a cage because she said something that is factually correct. Of course men can't be lesbians. That's the most retarded shit of all time. If there's a cock involved, you're not a lesbian. Tonje Gevonge, a lesbian filmmaker and actress, why does it matter if she's a lesbian? I don't know why that's in there. Was informed on November 17th that she was under investigation for speaking out against prominent Norwegian activist Christine Jentoft on Facebook. Jentoft, I was on oh my God. Jentoft is a transgender female, so she was born a man, okay, that often refers to herself as a lesbian mother. She probably doesn't even have kids, she just identifies that she does. Jentoft previously accused another woman, Christina Elginsson, of transphobia for a similar claim. Elginsson is also under investigation and faces 3 years in jail as well. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on in Norway? You shouldn't even get an eyelid batted at you if you say that men can't be lesbians. It's obvious that they can't, but in Norway you're gonna get locked in a cage. So what was the post that she put up? Gevonge said, "It's just impossible for men to become a lesbian, as it is for men to become pregnant." Oh, naughty, naughty. Men are men regardless of their sexual fetishes. Okay, fetishes, maybe I wouldn't say it's a fetish, I'd just say you identify as whatever. Cool, let's be nice. But still, is that really worth going to jail over? So apparently it was her goal to actually draw attention to the hate speech laws in Norway. This was the whole reason for this. Under protected categories from hate speech, people found guilty of hate speech face a fine or up to 1 year in prison for private remarks and 3 years for public. For private remarks, hate speech in private. Now, remember what hate speech is defined as now. It's not what it used to be defined as. If you say something that is if you say men, okay, you're in Norway right now. Let's hang out in Norway. Yeah. And you say that men can't have babies, you could go to prison for a year if you say that in your lounge room to your partner. That's fact. Fact. Here's some truths for you, all right? Trans people deserve to be happy. That is the truth. Trans people deserve to live whatever life they want to live. That is the truth. But you should never be jailed, attacked or criticised for telling the truth. You should never be fearful of the truth. Never. And what's even crazier, and this is the best truth that I know, and the most important truth that I know, that the vast majority of trans people and non-binary people agree with everything that I've said in this video. It's just these crazy fucking people that demand people's attention on the internet that have anything to say otherwise. These are the people that are absolutely insane. It's got nothing to do with regular trans folk. Pick out any trans person in the street and say, "Hey, do you think men can become lesbians?" They'll go, "Fuck off, idiot, no," and just get on with their lives. What's happening in Norway should be a lesson to every single person watching this. If we let the little things go, the little truths, the little lies be told, then who knows what can happen. Soon enough, you might be locked up for a year for telling your best mate at the pub that, oh, men can't do scissoring because they have cocks. That's fucked up. Go and get the don't miss, mate. You get 2 for 1 deal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like a pizza shop. 2 for 1 deal. I'll throw in a garlic bread with your don't miss, mate. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. My dick stinks. 2 to 1. Bye-bye.